Welcome to another episode of Edible RX. I'm Laura Rodriguez, holistic chef, autoimmune warrior, and backyard farmer, and this is the podcast that teaches you to use food as medicine. Today's topic is all about food freedom, what I call true food freedom, where what you want to eat is synonymous with what you need to eat. And there are two freedoms that I want every autoimmune warrior to experience. Number one, when you walk into your pantry, you can eat whatever you want because you don't stock your pantry with stuff that causes autoimmune flare-ups anymore. You don't have to stand there and have this internal conflict with yourself and battle with your willpower should I eat these Oreos or should I not eat these Oreos? Because you don't have Oreos in your pantry anymore. Instead, you may reach for fresh fruit or dried dates or stevia-sweetened dark chocolate chips when you have a sweet tooth. When all of the sweet treats you keep stocked in your pantry are flare-free, there's literally no guilt, shame, or willpower needed in eating anymore. None of that stuff is involved anymore. You just eat whatever you want, whenever you want. This is such a freeing, liberating experience that I think most people don't even realize is possible. Not only because diet culture tells us that it's not, but because the first thing that we think of when we have to change our diet is all the things we're going to lose. We don't focus enough on all the things we're going to gain, like the joy of trying new foods, the freedom of being able to satiate a craving completely free of guilt and shame, better nutrition, more energy, increased joint mobility, better digestion, blood sugar balance, and honestly, just the freedom that you'll feel when what's on the end of your fork no longer contributes to that perpetual cycle of autoimmune flare-ups. It makes you feel like your body is betraying you at every meal. This is something that I honestly don't hear many people in the autoimmune wellness space speaking about very often, but I promise you it is possible to attain. You just need the right guidance, tools, support, and time. It took me about 7 years to achieve this, but I do not want you to have to suffer that long. I want you to be able to embrace your love of food and achieve rapid, radical healing starting today. That's why I'm so excited to be able to put all of this mindset stuff right here in this podcast so you have a place to come back to access it when you need it the most. The second freedom that I want all autoimmune warriors to experience is that when you go out to a restaurant, you can order whatever you want off the menu. And I have 3 things that you need to do in order to achieve that. Number 1, eat 80 to 90% flare-free for at least 3 to 6 months so that your immune system and your gut can handle indulging in some of your trigger foods on occasion. Number 2, learn how to do flare-free math. This means how many of my trigger foods can I eat in one day or in one sitting without having a flare-up. And number 3, experience the beauty of living flare-free so that when you sit down at that restaurant and you look at that menu, there's nothing on that menu that's going to be more enticing than living flare-free. So if you're able to accomplish those 3 things, dining out at a restaurant will no longer be a source of frustration for you. It'll actually be like a fun little biological experiment and a break from cooking all the time. Because using food as medicine 3 times a day, 7 days a week is hard work. It's damn near a full-time job. I know because I've been doing it for almost a decade and I do it for my clients every week. But these are freedoms that most autoimmune warriors don't even anticipate experiencing post-diagnosis, right? When we're younger, we can sit down at a restaurant, we can order anything off the menu and just walk out feeling no different. But once you're sick, you start to notice every little thing causes reactions. And then the next thing you know, you feel like you can't eat out anymore because there's such a limited amount of things that you can enjoy. And, who wants to go out to a restaurant to eat something that you can easily make at home, like baked salmon with rice and broccoli? Plus, if you're like me and you genuinely enjoy the experience of restaurant dining, that can be a very emotional thing to have to give up. But I'm here today to tell you that you don't have to. If you can get to a point where you're eating 80 to 90% flare-free for at least 3 to 6 months, You've mastered the art of doing flare-free math, and you've experienced the beauty of living flare-free, and you realize that the power and value of living a long, healthy, vibrant life free of autoimmune flare-ups is way more enticing than anything on any restaurant menu, then you can achieve true food freedom. You'll no longer mourn the things that you can't eat when you're out at a restaurant, because the things you need to eat will be synonymous with the things you want to eat. For example, this weekend I was in Chicago, and for the last 6 years, pretty much, I would always order pizza and Italian beef anytime we went home to visit family in Chicago. Like, no matter if there was gluten-free crust available or not, I knew I was going to get me some pizza. And I would always eat beef on bread, because it's like, that's how beef comes. You have to eat it with bread, right? You know, these are two things that you just can't get in Tennessee, two things that I grew up eating, and just two foods that I find joy in eating a couple times a year as a treat. But now that I've achieved true food freedom, my desire to be able to live flare-free, to be able to walk barefoot on the beach without any pain after dinner with my daughter, is far stronger than my desire to eat pizza or Italian beef on a bun. So what did I do? I did my flare-free math, and I decided that I was going to eat deep dish for dinner because my daughter really wanted to try deep dish for the first time, and I did want to be a part of that experiment with her. And so for lunch, I ordered Italian beef without the bun, and I had that with a side salad and fries. And it tasted great, and I got to have Italian beef. I didn't mourn that bun for 1 second, because instead of telling myself, I can't have the bun, I'm not having bread, this isn't the same, I was saying to myself, woohoo, I'm having beef. So mindset matters, and nothing tastes as good as flare-free feels. So if you're ready to get the tools, guidance, support that you need to get off the roller coaster ride of autoimmune flare-ups and achieve true food freedom for yourself, check out the Flare Free Cooking Academy at cheflaurarodriguez.com/Flare Free Academy. Doors for enrollment are open now, and next month's meal plan drops on the 1st. Don't forget, guys, drop a rating or review if you like this podcast episode, or if you're watching on YouTube, comment below. I'd love to hear what you think. Thanks again for watching, and see you next week.